Morning, everybody. Time to go move some cattle. Well, we had a pretty good storm last night. Everything's pretty wet this morning. But the plan is to cut the sorghum Sudan grass here later today once everything dries out. Well, the carport's still there. Didn't blow away in the storm. Look at all this forage here, huh? These sheep can't keep up with this. So the cattle are out here grazing down this sorghum Sudan grass area right here, and they've got her grazed down pretty good. Still about knee high. But yeah, they seem to like this stuff pretty good. Hi, Oliver. Just gonna come right up to me. You're gonna eat my hand. I don't have a peanut butter sandwich. I'm not Rebecca. Sorry, buddy. Well, my hand's all covered with slobber now. So the plan is to move the cattle out of this area here. I'm gonna try to move them in with the sheep on this side. So I need to open a few gates, see if I can get them at least over there in the fence, and then I can start moving some of this temporary wire. Close off the barn. Since we got this all cleaned out, I want to try to keep them out of there, try to keep it clean for now. All right, everybody, go inside. You gonna come toward me? Come on, let's go. Watch out for Mo. All right, there they go, that direction. Well, there they are, all around the mineral feeder. I guess they haven't had access to minerals for a few weeks. Probably ought to put one on the shopping list. That way I can have a mineral feeder back in the pine trees, one in here and one over at the bank barn. I can have them at least in every area we lock up animals. Just gonna move this wire to the other side of that red gate over there. That way they can get into the pasture through two gates, I guess. I'll just take it back a ways and then I'll angle it over there. Got a wasp nest inside of that water trough. Makes it a little dangerous to mess with. There we go. So I just got one more thing to do out here. I need to go out and take down the temporary electric fence next to the sorghum Sudan grass. That way I can get the hay equipment in there, get it cut and baled. There's all the lambs. So to move the side-by-side out here across these temporary wires, I just basically take the post, lay it flat, and I'll just drive over it. And you just pick it back up and carefully step it in. All I gotta do is just untie this end, remove the handle. Just reel it back from this end. Well, that definitely filled up the bed of the side-by-side. So I don't plan on cutting this sorghum Sudan until this afternoon. So what we'll do now, I'm gonna go grab the hay baler, see if we can take it up to the workshop. I've got a brand new twine arm actuator. We're gonna see if we can put that on. But I need to move the meat chickens first. Well, trough full, but it's overflowing. Not good. I'll just have to turn it off and fill it manually right now. Check on the chicks. Hello, chicks. Bunch of them active, moving around. Got one over here that's not active. We've had 4 chicks die so far, and I'm afraid it's gonna be a 5th, which is somewhat strange because we typically only lose chicks in the first 3 to 5 days, and it's been a couple weeks already. This charger right here is always flashing red in the morning. That's because this netting grounds out so much that I think it pulls the charger down overnight. Probably would have helped if I would have mowed before I ended up putting the fence up. How's your water? Oh, you're pretty well empty. Look out. There you go. Get back. All right, here we go. Look out, everybody. All right, move forward. Move forward. There's always one in the back. Come on. I want to show you one of these meat chickens real quick. Look at how big he is. Super wide. Can you see that? These things are massive. So we ended up buying this garden cart a week or 2 ago. And that way we can move the trash cans around a lot easier. Plus it keeps them off the ground. Well, I spilled there, boys and girls. Can you clean it up for me? On these hot days, these guys will go through this entire bucket. I'll have to check it again tonight. So right now the plan is to butcher the chickens, send them to freezer camp this weekend, and then we'll probably take the ones out of the brooder and we'll move them out here. So right here is the brand new twine arm actuator. This is an electronic actuator. It's got a 12-volt motor on here that drives this, and then this extends and retracts, and that's what swings the twine arm out. And this mounts back behind this frame right here, back under here. So I'm gonna try to slide up underneath here, see if I can get the old one out. So right here is the twine arm actuator. I can see on this end it just has a pin holding it in place, so I just need to get it out. And I really can't see what's holding the other side. Well, I'm still not 100% sure how to get the twine arm actuator out of there. So I've got a battery hooked up to the bale monitor, and we're going to put it in manual and see if we can extend it. I'm hoping that'll allow me to see things better. Plus it decompresses a spring in there also. So I'm hoping that that will help. Now I can see the mounting bolts. So I could drop the whole thing out if I needed to. So I'm gonna take this side of the twine arm assembly loose, and I'm hoping that that will make it come down just a little bit so that I can get the pin out of this end. Oh, always gonna hit you in the face. Oh, let's retract it. Let's see what happens if I retract it. Oh, there. That might be the problem, man. That whole side over there is seized up. It doesn't pivot on the pin like it should. So on the back of this actuator, you can see there's a hole for a pin, and there's a pin in there that it just sits down on top of. That's it. There's nothing holding it in place. It's just sitting down on that pin. On the other side, there's a pin that comes through the top, and then there's a washer and a cotter key that holds this end in place. But this end is the one that's froze up. It's completely seized to the pin. As this extends, it should swing left and right as it extends and retracts, and it's not doing that. And that's probably the whole problem, because when it gets to the far extremes, all the way in or all the way out, that's when it had the problems, and it's just because I believe that pin's seized up. I did find this the other day. I've looked for it for 2 years. Finally found Croil at a store and bought a can of it. And this is really good penetrating oil. This is all we used to use where I worked. And I do have it sprayed on that pin. I've sprayed it a couple of times. Hopefully it'll help loosen it up. Well, I've been working on it for a while. I finally got the actuator off. But the problem is, here's the pin, and it broke off right there. So that pin was welded in to the actuator, and it broke off. So now I just made this job way harder. I say the chances of me cutting sorghum Sudan grass today is going downhill pretty quick. I don't know if I'll ever get this back up in here. There's a wrench just waiting to fall on me. And a bolt. All right. So here's the twine arm actuator assembly. So here's where the pin broke off. That's where the motor side goes. And then the actuator goes across and it pins in here. You can see we got the pin pulled up right there. So this actuator would sit like right in here. And now we got to come up with a new pin. See, it was supposed to have, there's a hole. It was supposed to have like a cotter key in there so you could just slide it off. And that's gone. Of course, that's seized up. So you can see it's got like a collar right here that is welded to the frame, and then the pin went in there. Of course, that's all seized up together. So I'm going to cut the weld off of here, and then we may have to go to the lathe and end up like making our own piece to weld back in place. Oh yeah, now we got it free. So I found this 1/2-inch pin, so I should be able to cut this down and use it to replace the broken pin. Now for this collar that it sat down inside of, instead of trying to make a new one on the lathe, the quickest thing to do is put this in a drill press, try to drill out the old pin, and then we're gonna put this pin inside of it, and then we'll weld it up so it's one piece, and then we'll take that and we'll weld it to the actuator arm, and I think that'll fix everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the collar in the lathe first. Just gonna knock all the weld off of it, make it round again. All right, I got the pin cut down, got it in the bushing. All we're gonna do is weld it to the bushing here in the back, and then we'll weld this to the twine arm assembly. All right, we got the pin welded back in place. I'm gonna let this cool for a little while. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the hay mower, get it hooked to the tractor. Since we're cutting sorghum Sudan, we gotta adjust the windrow deflectors on here. Gotta make them pretty much as tight as we can because we want a 4-foot windrow. Sorghum Sudan grass is so heavy and thick, you can't rake it, so it needs to lay exactly the way we need it to go in the baler. All right, I think this thing's ready to go. We'll head back inside and see if that's cooled down. I can still smell smoke out here. Those rotten logs, they're still smoldering here. They've been smoldering for 2 days and they're almost gone, slowly burning up. Go ahead and just grease this pin. Take our actuator, put it down. This time we're gonna put a washer on top and then we'll put a cotter key, maybe get a cotter key through there. There we go. All right, we're good on that side. So on this side, the actuator needs to extend out a couple inches to line up with the pin. So I've got a set of wires here hooked to a 12-volt battery. See if that's enough. Hair more. I guess I didn't have to hook it up to the battery. You can actually thread it in and out. Ah, she's through. So the twine arm assembly is all put back together. I just need to get it bolted back in the machine now. But it's getting kind of late. This has took way longer than I thought, so let's head back out to the field and cut the sorghum Sudan grass. All right, change of plans. Just got a phone call. One of our boys, their brakes went out on their way to work. So what I'm gonna do, Rebecca's gonna go swap vehicles with him so that he has her vehicle. And then I'm gonna take the trailer over there, load his vehicle up so that we can bring it back here and then maybe look at the brakes. But the baler is right in the way. I'm gonna have to get the baler fixed before I can pull his vehicle in there. And then I also need to get all the steel off of the trailer so that I can go haul his vehicle. So I guess I'm not cutting hay today after all. That's a heavy one. That's 1/2-inch plate. And it's hot. Ah. All right, I still got the car tie downs that I had bought to transport the edge over to Chris at Show Me Repair for him to fix. So luckily I've got all the stuff to haul a vehicle, or else I wouldn't have. And he did fix the edge, apparently. There's a video out on that. And then now he's trying to fix the air conditioning on it. But looks like I'm gonna be working on brakes. All right, I think we're all hitched up, ready to go. Oh, one more thing. Gotta get our pin in here. All right, pins, chains, lights, brakes, everything's hooked up. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and end this video now. So I hope you guys have a better day than I'm having, and I'll see you in the next one.